Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. We're out here on this blustery and cool Southwest Ohio day. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to get some stuff planted in between little rain showers. That's what we're trying to do today, is get the earliest spring stuff planted we can, which is typically your greens, as loud cars drive by the road. This is not unusual. This is just kind of how we do things around here. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing this kind of in between blustery rain showers, so there might be a lot of up and down, right? But it's really that time of year where it's time to get your cool weather stuff planted. You got lettuce and spinach, kale can get started right now. There's a lot of things that you can get going right now, even though like here in Southwest Ohio, it's still a little cold, but it's gonna be a little warm. It's gonna be a little cold. It's gonna be a little warm. It's spring, and at least half the country probably. I know everybody thinks their state has got the weirdest weather. A lot of states have very similar weather this time of year. It just happens. Like, it's gonna be 70 degrees in a few days. It was 70 degrees 2 days ago, and it's gonna be 30 degrees in the morning. Just the way it is. First thing we're gonna be doing is planting this 7-tier leaf green stalk. It's just the best option we have for planting greens and being consistent, like with our space, or being efficient with our space, I guess. So like we can kind of keep them up here on the patio. We can cover them if it gets too cold. We can, you know, control the environment a little bit better with them. And also we're using our space best. So this is what we're going to be doing today, or at least part of the day. And now it's a leaf planter. Okay, so leaf planter means they're shorter tiers. This is should only take 3/4 of a cubic foot of soil per layer. So that's 5 1/4, 5.25 columns open. We've got 6 cubic feet of soil, so we should have plenty. Dump them in there. This soil's dried out quite a bit, so dump it in there real well. We get them going. These things plant really easily, just like that. Get all spread out. You do want to make sure there's a little space right here. There's the self-watering disc go in right here. You want to make sure there's a little space there so that you don't have soil going all the way up to that disc. It'll clog the holes in those discs. But you want to make sure you have enough soil, because the soil is also going to settle. So you got to make sure you got enough soil in there as well. Really simple. You do this, get it together. And this is on a spinner and wheels, so it can really be easily planted like that. Sometimes I forget that if we have a spinner or not. If it's on a spinner, I'll just keep trying to do that when I can just easily spin it around to me. Just like that, see? Really love those. They plant really easy doing that. When you're building these, you're going to want to plant them as you go. So like, you're going to want to plant this layer now before you put the next one on top of it. But this soil is so dry as well that you're also going to want to make sure you wet that soil down really well before you plant it. That way your seeds don't get washed down in. Now I'm going to start planting this thing with this right here, okay? It's kale. I'm not sure, trying to get it on there. I got zoomed in a little bit. So right here is kale. Some people call this dinosaur kale. Some people call it Tuscan kale. Some people might call it black cabbage, and maybe if you're in the UK. But this is kale. All right. And it grows kind of tall, so I'm not going to plant a ton of it. You want to make sure you give your roots a chance to grow a little bit. So I'm just going to put, I'm going to plop in a few seeds per hole. I think I'm going to do 3 seeds per hole on this one. And just plop them in there. If you drop a couple extra in there, it's no big deal, because the seeds they'll stick to your fingers a little bit. And so just plop them in there, push them in, lightly cover them, and keep them moist. Just do that all the way around. Now I'm going to spare you the rest of me planting this. I will show it in B-roll and talk about it, but we ain't going to have to go through this whole stinking thing like this, okay? So I'm going to keep planting. Hope you guys stick around and watch. So now this is getting pretty late in the evening actually. This is kind of what I like about a green stalk, is that when you're patio gardening, you can garden after dark. I would be doing this after dark if I wanted to. It's just really hard to film after dark, right? So it's getting fairly late in the evening. Angela Kay is down there with the chickens, and she's helped me plant a couple of these tiers off camera, of course. And we had to stop, eat supper, get the chickens out, you know, let them run around the yard for a few minutes, you know. And I kept planting, you know, as you'll see here, I planted some tiers of some dazzling blue kale. We planted some spinach, and I planted some white Russian kale, I think is what it is, which is a picture of that. The seed packet doesn't have a picture of it. So we planted quite a bit here. We're on the last tier, which is one of the things I love again about gardening like this, is that like there's 42 plant spots on this stack. It's a lot, right? So we've got a bunch of kale, a bunch of spinach. I put 2 rows of spinach on there, so I have 14 plant spots of spinach. I think we put 3 seeds in each spot. So we were able to, that's 42 spinach seeds pretty quick. I mean, and just right here, there's 42 spinach seeds right here, these 2 layers. That's awesome. So it's a big plus for gardening in a green stalk on a patio. Huge space saver and great. So yes, obviously we're affiliates with them. There's a link and a code in the description. You can go get $10 off. They're amazing, awesome. Even if you don't want to buy one right now, sign up for their email list and they'll let you know when they're on sale. And or tune into us, and we'll let you know as well. But I'm just putting this last bit of soil in here, and it's worked out pretty much exactly as we thought it would. It's taken one of these bags. This is it's a 1.5 cubic foot bag of black gold. It's a pretty good potting mix, organic. And so it's a 1.5 cubic foot bag. We bought it like Ace Hardware, and it's taken two tiers is for one bag, so that's pretty solid. I'm sure there's other good potting soil mixes you can use as well. Potting mixes, Miracle, if you don't mind if it's not organic or not, I'm sure Miracle grows just fine. Happy Frog and Fox Farm, they do really good products. Miracle Grow even does a performance organics variety that works pretty good. It's pretty expensive. So like there's other mixes out there you can use. I'm sure different regions have different stuff, and you just use a good potting mix and you'll be fine. But you need to use a potting mix in your green stalk, or anytime you're container gardening for that matter. Now since it's getting dark and late, we're going to continue this tomorrow. And just like that, I'm back. I've changed clothes. It's a little brighter outside because it's tomorrow, right? And so we've got a 5-tier original green stalk here behind me on the spinner, spinning around. And it's got, now the difference what we're going to do here is it's got soil in it already that was used before, so all its nutrients and junk has been used up. There's no energy really left in that soil, maybe a little bit. But so we're just going to refertilize it with some blood meal, nothing crazy, just nitrogen. We're just going to put lettuce in here, okay? Lettuce doesn't need really much besides some nitrogen. And we're going to make sure we just kind of sprinkle some seeds lightly through there. We got lettuce here, okay, just from green stalk. Just kind of sprinkle it lightly in a kind of cut and come again method, and we can get a good blend of lettuce in these 30 plant spots. So we're going to have to refertilize this where we didn't refertilize the other soil. Remember, that's important, that when you're container gardening with soil, and if you're reusing soil, which by the way you should, then you need to make sure you refertilize that soil when you reuse it. But if it's fresh soil straight out of the bag, then it should be fine without having to fertilize it. And this right here is a great way to get really great spring greens inside your family's stomachs and in their mouths, right? And inside your kitchen as well. Because hey, foodflation is real, y'all. So however you can get more food, better food, more nourishing food, the better, more efficient way, right? Because this is gonna wind up being like 72 plant spots of greens, 42 up there, 30 down here, and only like 4 square feet of ground space. Awesome way to do so. And so we're gonna get started on that, but I'm gonna spare you the viewing of that because you just saw me planting some seeds right there before. So thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. I encourage you all, every single one of you, grow some stinking food this year, right? Not food that smells, but just grow some good food this year, right? You need to. It's important to do so to continually be more food independent. It's really all necessary. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.